Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Now, this is not any ordinary playthrough, this is the 1.0 release version provided to me by Hooded Horse. Now, I will say right up front that I am associated with Hooded Horse. If you want to know what that means, take a look at the video in the description on it. But regardless, I'm here, and not only are we here, but we're playing with the upcoming BIOMES DLC. This is going to release right by 1.0 release, and it provides 3 entirely new biome maps for the game. Now, this is completely randomly generated, etc., like the base game is, things of that nature. However, we now have tropical, we now have desert, and we now have tundra. Each has their own positives and negatives. The tropical, for instance, has a ton of wood, as we can see. We're definitely going to start a wood industry and see what that looks like. Whereas the desert, they have a lack of water, but they have a ton of oil. And the tundras, you're going to experience shorter farming seasons and longer cold seasons. So each come with their own difficulty. Here, the difficulty is that when it gets wet, it rains quite a bit. We're going to have some really nasty roads that we're going to have to contend with. But what I'm here today to do is we are here to exploit the local population, because they can be exploited. Of course, you can use them. I say exploit. Utilize them as best as possible. Now, the kicker is that this doesn't provide a ton of people, but we're going to build right next to them. We're going to start giving them all the things that they need: food, water, entertainment, alcohol, all that stuff, so we can use them in all of our services. Now, I do like this spot over here. Chendin, I probably have butchered that, but it is what it is. If someone knows the right saying, then let me know. But I picked this spot because, one, it has a ton of coal. And when I say a ton of coal, I mean a ton of coal. Look at that. That is pure quality quality coal there. And not only do we have pure quality coal, but we have a lot of it. So we're definitely going to start a coal industry as well, because that does make the most sense. Eventually being able to power our own things, like well, get a coal power plant and work on steel and things, because steel is close. It's across the pond, and we'll have to figure out how to bring things and ship things over using some train supplies and stuff. And we can utilize all of that because we have a rather close custom house. So we definitely want to keep an eye on the market and see what things do. I'm not entirely sure the productivity of steel overall, but you know, like, I mean, heck, if we really want to focus on making money, we could sell some hazardous waste. Actually, we have to pay for hazardous waste, excuse me. But I definitely know, for instance, like clothes, they go for a crazy amount. So maybe we can figure out how to get some clothes productions going on. But right now, what we have to do, well, first and foremost, actually, if you enjoy this type of content and you really want to see it thrive and you want to help support the channel, you can do so right now by go ahead and giving the video a like, and of course, subscribing to the channel for amazing new content. Now, what we need to do here is we need to establish a blend of our own housing, as well as being able to utilize these boyos. Now, as you can see here, they're fine. They don't have any issues. Their happiness could be better. Their health could be better, and they are semi-satiated. They do need some sports, though, so maybe we'll drop in a sock. But we do need to get them power and water. So we need to be thinking about that as we build out our supplies and stuff. We're going to work on having a rather large population just straight from the get-go, and then we'll figure out how and where to put them from here on out. Now, one of the favorite things that I like to do here is I like to have my wireframe going, just because it helps me be able to build more efficiently for Mother Russia. Now, we can totally have a nice gentle curve, and then we can do our exploitation there. Now, what I love about this is that the wireframe can and does lock on, so we have a nice ease into the area. But we definitely want to go ahead and just continue working like this. Ooh, that gets a little wonky. Is that just because I'm zoomed out? It is just because I'm zoomed out. Okay, cool. That's not a problem. So we could totally just work on all the things here. I'm going to build a quick little housing district. All right, so super basic little road layout for the time being. We'll get this all rounded out eventually in the future. But again, we kind of got to balance the old and the new here. Now, one of the things that I really enjoy about this game is that, for one, you can have this hotbar up here, and this hotbar will allow you to basically have a whole bunch of prefab buildings or different roads or different everythings here. And so what we are going to do is we are going to have our prefab flats here. And I wonder if they actually move straight in. That would actually be really cool if they did. But we're going to build out this little section right here because that will allow us to really, well, build out everything that we need. So we're just going to build quite a few of these suckers. And I also really like the idea of mixing different residential types. So like we can totally put in this whole district here. I think would look really, really good. We're actually going to delete that because I care about symmetry. And then we can build our, you know, like our parks and stuff in the middle, really get them happy and basically work on building our, you know, our Soviet block quite literally. So we're going to rock it right there. And do we want one in the middle? I don't think we want one in the middle. I think that's a pretty good block right there. That should get us you know, at least a few thousand people, which would be great. And then we could start building and expanding into the future. Now, this will build automatically, by the way. We're not doing realistic because realistic is just realistic building for the time being. For me, is still just a little bit beyond my grasp and skill within the game. And I know some people have it down, and it's awesome that you do, but that's not for me. I also want to just be completely honest and letting you guys know that I am by no definition any form of expert on this game. So like, while I do have some basic understandings of all the stuff and all the things, there's going to be a lot that I'm just going to be exploring with you guys as we're on this journey together. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate the understanding. And I don't know, just because I think there's a curve there that's causing the issue. All right, well, that's not a problem. We can totally just cross there and do a little, oh, that actually works pretty well. All right, so now that we have this done, we're not even remotely close to being done though, because we still have to provide a whole bunch of services. For instance, oh, that's a really big, I don't want a big thing there. I guess we could fit other things in between, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. So if we're going to do that, then I think we need okay, that fits more people. So it makes sense that we drop that in there. Right there, smack dab in the middle, which I think works fantastic. We can have basketball and a volleyball court. Are you serious right now, bro? All the sports. They're going to have access to all of the sports. Outdoor swimming pool. That's something we could definitely put on the outside over here, or even up on this front. We could put it, there we go. Let's put it right next to the people. Yeah, that's great. They'll have access to all the things just like we want them to. And that'll be awesome. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how that works out. We could go ahead and put just a couple of other things here, but we are still not done. I do believe that one of the beautification things we can do is we can do a playground, correct? Yeah, let's get some children's playgrounds in there because children matter too. And that way all the kids can be satiated while mom and dad go to work for the glorious Soviet Empire. Now, we're still not done with the area because, well, one, we need to get some loyalty things, and I don't remember where these are. Monuments, that's right. Not only do we need to get some loyalty things, but we need to also provide power and all of those sorts of deals. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to figure out places for the Red Star Monument to be, but also, for instance, Lenin. I think it appropriate that everyone gets some good looks at Lenin while looking out their apartment window every morning. And we certainly need to let the locals know who is in charge here in that regard. What else can we do? We could do the Eternal Flame obelisk. That is a great looking obelisk right there. I think would look good. We only need really one of those. But then, like, for Mother Russia, right? Like, we definitely need to ensure that the work ethic of the Russian landscape is in the tropics. And so we're definitely going to push that. Maybe just a couple more. Soviet emblem. Yeah, let's just go ahead and kind of tail that on both ends there. Great. All right, cool. Well, we have our Soviet block, which is will be up and running. We need to do a couple more things to provide some of the basic services for them. And that's going to be things like a shopping center. We're going to build a proper shopping center in this area because it needs it. And we'll make sure all these people have access and whatnot. Now, one of the things that I am not completely dependent on are the little, what are they called? That little thing you saw over there, the conveyor belt. We'll put it where we can possibly have access. We may actually need to push that back just a smidge because it is useful. I will admit, I just don't know exactly how to use it well. And that's on me, but that's okay also. And then not only that, we do need a rather nice pub that can handle some traffic. And it doesn't have to be a lot. And why not put it right next to the glorious Soviet Republic emblem. But also, I want to just kind of go all out with these people. A house of culture. Oh my, that sounds fantastic. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to build a cinema, and we can get this to snap back on because I really do care about the well-being of our state and how organized it is. We're going to go there, but I also want to build a house of culture. And we could even build the house of culture really close to here. So that way all the natives can immediately get a high dosage of Soviet culture without a doubt. Okay, so that's kind of takes care of all of our basic services. Actually, it doesn't, because we do need a hospital. Do I need a large hospital? I don't need a large hospital. That'll be fine. We can totally build that right there. We probably need to go ahead and build a nice fire station too. And we're going to build that service just right next to each other. Have all that area. Do we need a university? I don't think we do at the moment. However, a headquarters of the Communist Party would probably be one of the smarter pieces of intelligence we could do, but that's a really big thing. We may not worry about that just yet. Now what we need to do is we need to worry about our infrastructure, and that's going to be where things really get difficult because, well, there's a lot of buildings here already, plus we still want to, you know, work on the natives here. And I wish we had bigger substations, or, you know, it depended on power draw, but it is what it is. We'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get this set up. So the way the electrical grids work is we basically have our connectors here. We're going to go ahead and drop that there. I think we could probably, wow, that's I can't see because they're so clustered. Now the issue here I foresee is that we won't be able to get wires in, but we'll see what we can't do. Let's go ahead and turn that off for the time being. And so those guys are taken care of. These guys are not. And so we need to figure out the best solution here. I kind of think dropping 2 in this area is going to be the best way to go about that. But I can't even see the daggum connection. There we go. There's one. And then we're going to go ahead and drop another one over here. There we go. And then can I get a pathway to go to there? I can. Brilliant. We can kind of peel off of here and have a really ugly connection. No, they're not even going to let me have the ugly connection. That's fine. We'll be okay there. I don't think anyone actually has to really go after it. So we could set up our electrical substation. I need to be able to pull from all the way over here. So let me get that set up. All right, we've got our full long grid, which does just like go all the way across. There we go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Brilliant. And we are just immediately hemorrhaging money. And I find that quite funny. Okay, cool. So that works there. Now what we need to do here is we need to have our high voltage switch. And our high voltage switch will simply just allow us to dedicate a whole range of switches. Literally just being able to peel off and do all of that stuff is a pretty good importance, I would say. And again, I'm not an expert at the whole electrical grid system, so I don't know if this high voltage wire was necessary or if I can peel off. Okay, that's what I figured. So we might lose a connection here. Can I build from this? Oh, I can. Cool. So that's not a bad deal. And they will be able to do that. Now we need to purchase things. We need to purchase our electricity. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 100% import. That way it'll start working. And then by default, all the way over here, that now works. Cool. So now we need to not just pull from there. We need to go from high voltage to low voltage. And that requires a power transformer without a doubt. And we're going to probably build a series of high voltage switches because I want to be overtly paranoid about it, but we'll see where we get there because I'm not ready for that yet. So we don't need a medium voltage switch. We do need a transformer because that gets us a really good range of connections, right? So I think we're going to go ahead and build this sucker right here, and hopefully that will allow us to build some good electrical grids. Now, I don't really think this really matters. Part of me like yearns for the recognition of straight roads nonstop. But like if it gets out of control, you just let me know if you think I'm out of control in that area. So now we have our high voltage, which I can just totally drop from here to there. And that then brings up our medium voltage. Now what we need to do is we need to get to there. We need to get to right there. Okay, so we do have 4 outputs that we immediately need to worry about. Let's go ahead and can I drag and drop? Okay, a building's in the way. Oh, the daggum temple's in the way. Go figure. Let's go ahead and get, we're gonna have to be a little bit janky here. Buildings are still in the way. Boom, there's one. don't know that I can get this one out. We may end up, sorry, for the glory of Mother Russia. I know City Planner Plays, if he sees this, he's going to cringe just a little bit. I can't remember what the system is called. Is it forced? I want to say force majeure, but I don't think that's correct. Basically, where the city basically comes in and says, hey, we can do whatever we want. We're going to commandeer all your stuff. All your base belong to us. And yeah, we're going to have to do that majorly here. Okay, that sucks. But we will be okay. I think I'm going to go this way. And then sweet, that lines up perfectly. Awesome. And then here, I just think we're going to have to just destroy a ton of buildings. Man alive, the number of buildings I had to destroy. I'm so sorry, in a way. But you know what? We have power, which means they're going to be happy. Look at our glorious, glorious little mini town over here. I really like it. There's so many bats. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, building right next to that, I think was a good choice. They're going to be able to come in and they're going to be able to be relatively happy, I think. You can see they're satiated. Their happiness is already going up. What we need to do is, with all things in this game, we need to just auto purchase all of our supplies for everything. And that means even in grocery stores, there we go. We're going to auto purchase from there, so it will always auto fill up. We have another pub, the Chadine pub. There we go. Purchase automatically. Chandine House of Culture. I really don't know what that does. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but that's okay. So we now have power supply to most of the population anyways. Now we definitely need water. And we're going to actually also need sewage. So there's a lot of processes we got to do and not a lot of time to do it in. So we're going to go ahead and get our water up and running. Now water is pretty, I would say relatively simple in total. What we're going to do is we are definitely just going to do a big giant, a big water well basically. And that's going to allow us to hopefully utilize all the stuff and the things. We want to be mindful of the water quality without a doubt, because that will determine the health of our people. I'm just going to go ahead and be like, yep, we're going to build a brand new road there so I can connect right here, and people will come in and they'll work it actually. And they should work it pretty darn quick, especially since it's connected to power. All right, and then the same sort of system-ish happens here. So we have our output with our big water treatment, or not a water treatment, sorry, our water well. And so you can see when I clicked on the water well, this has 6 outputs. So we are able to really be able to utilize that. And so we're going to have, let's see, we are going to need, how many substations are we going to need? I do tend to like to put things right next to each other in this area. So we're going to do, that's 1 water substation. That's going to be 2. That's going to be 3. And then that's going to be 4. If I remember correctly, pretty much all the areas had the same range of, of accessibility, which is great. And so we have 4 right there alone, which means we are going to need 2 switches. Yes, we are going to need 2 switches. Okay, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. It's just something we have to contend with. And then we do need a water pumping station, right? Yeah, so we're going to use a big water pump station. And that's, again, just going to be a relatively simple process. I don't think it needs people to work it, but we're going to drop that right there. And you can see it has 3 inputs and 3 outputs. So we're not concerned about that. And then this is where our water switches come in. So we are going to need 2 water switches. We'll go ahead and drop, well, let's go ahead and drop one close to here, because I think that'll be the most useful. We're going to drop 1 water switch here, and then I think we're going to drop the other one. It looks jank, but we're going to be right there. And then that's just going to allow us to then put all the stuff together. So we're going to output. Sometimes the lock to is more of a pain in the butt than it's worth. We're just going to simply drag and drop all of those things. And then let's go ahead. And we don't have to be perfect with this by any definition. Now, I do like really well laid out pipes. So like there is an extent to where I am like, okay, this does need done the correct way. Like I can't help it. Like we're going to have good water pipes going from here to there. There we go. Nice. And so then that switch will then allow obviously 3 different connections. And so we do have 3 connections here, so we will use up this entire switch, which is fine. That's not a problem. I mean, that's why we built it. There we go. There's one. Oh, actually, no. Okay, so we do have a little bit of an issue here because I don't want them going straight from the water switch, because that's not good policy. And so what I actually really wanted to do was to use that to connect. This will be fine. I think I could go ahead and do this. I'm okay with it. But I really want to have a water tower here. And we can go ahead and build that right there because we have those connections just available right to us. But those do only supply 2 water connections. So like what I should have probably foresaw this a little bit better. But that's okay. It's not going to cause irreversible damage. Just possibly emotional damage is all. But that is going to allow us to be able to handle... I guess we won't really have droughts. So there may not even be an issue. And I may be making a big, giant non-issue out of all of this. But the big determinant is simply let everything roll. And we see what everything looks like. So once this builds, we are using up a ton of money, I will admit. But it's not going to be that big of an issue. Let's go ahead and give these people an easy path to from their homes. Can I build something like that? There an easy path? I don't think there is an easy path. No, it doesn't look like it, which is fine. It's not a huge deal. I just kind of wanted to be like, hey, by the way, you can a lot easier just walk this nice little concrete path. And we only need 7 people, so like there's people who are coming, there's people who are even walking across the grass to be able to pump that out. So they are pumping out a ton. We could see here that it's also pumping out. And then if we go underground where we can get a better idea of everything, we can see that they are getting water and it is filling up. They are not getting water, so that is pumping out, which means it should go to the switch. The source is not a sending source. It is a sending source. You are lying. It's actually sending out a lot of source. So is this running? It's not running either. Okay, so we do have a bit of an issue. Oh, it's not connected. Son of a dingleberry. Okay, they're built, I think, on 2 different levels. Let's go ahead and just do this. There we go. All right, so that switch is now pumping, which means that this water is now pumping, and it will fill up at some point once people are done consuming. You see that's up, but also this is going to start filling up once people are drinking quality water. Now the water quality is great. It's at 93%. Like that's some of the best water that you can get. And eventually, once people are satiated, you'll start seeing that pump up and actually start to fill up. You can see right there though. So as soon as that water bottle thing kind of fills up, and maybe it won't. It's filling up. We're getting there. And then once it does, you'll start seeing things working really, really well. All right, cool. See, there we go. Awesome. Now, the last bit to this puzzle is we need sewage. Oh, and we need to turn off the daggum day-night setting, because I actually don't really like that. Be right back. There we go. All right, so the last little bit that we need to do is sewage, just to satiate all the people. And sewage is a bit of a... It's a big crapper of a problem. I'll just leave it at that. But basically, we are going to dump everything into the river for now. Why? Because why not? Now, we are going to go ahead and set up two ranges of pumps, because I think we're just going to need that much crap to be sent out. It's a real crappy situation. I could go on forever, so I'll stop. And the same situation applies here. Now, admittedly, what I don't know, what I don't understand yet, is if water quality is directly tied to how close the sewage tank is. I want to say it is, but I just don't know. And this is where, like, people's expertise in the game could really help me. So, like, for instance, do I not want my water supply right next to my crapper supply? Logics, again, just says that you probably don't want that. But I don't know what the mechanics of the game actually determine. And in terms of a crappy situation, you can see that we're actually not going to reach all of the people here. That's okay. Like, we can't satiate everyone. What we do need to make sure is that we aren't putting people in really bad situations overall. So much like anything else, we need to connect everything via switches and stuff of that nature. So we need to go back underground, We can see the 3 that are working here. So I'm going to build my switch right here, which is the closest place we can get it. And this is a 3 input, 1 output switch. So basically, nope, we don't want that. We want sewage pipes. And so pretty much I just want to make sure that everything gets connected. There's a building in the way? I don't think there's a building in the way. I think you're full of crap. Actually, I think the building probably is full of crap already at this point, because sewage does seem to fill up at an exorbitantly high rate. Let's go here. We're going to rock this all the way down the road. We're going to rock it all the way down the road to here. And then, actually, we could probably go just a little bit further. And then input right there. And then we're going to output straight to just one thing that we need. Now, the kicker here is I don't know where. I think we're going to go ahead and just rock this one. This is where my infrastructure woes come in really, really hard. And in fact, we don't need that yet. I think we'll be good there. That should take care of everyone and everything. And what we're going to see is that, yes, it is already filled up. But as soon as the pump and the switch all start working together, we're going to start seeing that empty itself out once they build. So it does take a little bit. Even turned up faster. There we go, look at it. And so eventually it has its like cap as it's built up and as it starts filtering out. But once that gets out of the way, boom, you'll start seeing that, okay, yeah, we're not, there we go, brilliant. Now we're at sewage filling of 4 to 5%, which from what I've seen is pretty daggum normal. All right, so we have everything we need. Drinking water has poor quality. I don't know about that. I don't think that's a thing. Now, what is interesting is they are already full of mixed waste. Now, everyone is sort of connected. I'm wondering what people will do. And this is another thing that I don't fully understand yet. For small garbage containers, this is a walkable distance. But I don't know, will like people come pick this up? This is one thing I've not ever messed with. Let's go ahead and slap a few of these down with some good road access. Of course, like right in front of the hospital would be good. No, it wouldn't. We do need to be, you know, catering a bit to all these types of people a little bit. Okay, cool. Well, the housing district is done. The people are okay. I will say this. They will be fine. There is a health risk. It's okay. What is not okay is our 60% unemployment. Because look, they're happy. They got happy. They're satiated. They have great health. They have good access. Actually, that's alcohol addiction. We want to try and limit that. But everyone's doing all the fun stuff. And one of the cool things about this game is we can reduce the price level. We're not here to make money. I'm here to satiate the populace, because the less that they are worried about food and money and all that stuff, we'll make our cash in other areas. I just want to make sure that everyone is good. Like, that's my number one concern here. That I think would be great. What do we have here? Drinking water has poor quality. We're good. So what we need to do now is we need to employ our populace. Now we have tons of different industries that we can choose from. For instance, we can do a wood cutting post, which will then allow us to get access to a sawmill. You saw the copious amounts of coal that we can do. We can exploit all of this, and I pretty much do want to exploit all of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to rock some asphalt. And we are going to try and figure out, I don't know if the wood industry is very is very profitable. Let's take a look-see here. For now, this is where I would export things. And I see that wood is extremely, extremely cheap, but I'm wondering, boards are also extremely cheap. Okay, so we don't need to export. Maximum production is 135 tons of boards per day. Now, this does have an actual economy to it. So like, I feel like if we export just shoot tons of boards, we're gonna be done really quick. So 135 tons times 12, that's 1,600 a load. That production just isn't worth it. It's just not. And in fact, it'd be better to export coal, which we honestly might. That might be worth it, because we could easily fit, you know, 500 tons of coal onto a single train and export it at once. So I think what we need to focus on instead is building up a coal industry so it can support other industries rather than do anything else. So we're going to get a pretty massive coal industry going. And that simply is going to require, I mean, we could easily build 3. Oh, I wonder if we don't, let's see, what does this look like? So this can only max out at 116 tons of coal per day. So I want to say, like, we could honestly build one, I feel like one coal ore processing plant per coal mine, because look at this. They can do 4.1 tons of coal ore per worker per day. So if we got a maximum number of workers, that's 800 tons of coal per day, with them only being able to output 116 tons. Yeah, we're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio here. Whether that's financially advisable or not, I don't know, but also I don't care. So like we have not unlimited funds, but we definitely have some pretty daggum pure. We have some good direction. I can tell you that right now. In fact, if we really wanted to, we could auto build using dollars instead, and that would be like, okay, that's 100 grand. So we're good. We're good. We're gonna build this with this close to the source. We're gonna do 98%. Boom, right there. And then we're gonna have a coal ore processing plant. Now I'm sure some of you will be screaming. If you do scream, be sure to scream loud enough for me to hear, so that way I know that I'm doing things right. Because I do understand that this probably isn't a super incredibly efficient way to work, but at the same time, like, I'm also having just a crap ton of fun doing it, so I don't care. And that may sound terrible, but I'm enjoying the heck out of this massive coal mine that we have rocking and rolling here. So I'm just going to enjoy the coal mine and everything it has to offer for me, because it's just fun. I'm really having a blast doing this. Now, I guess another thing to consider is whether or not we want, I guess it doesn't matter. We can't change what side that goes. Okay, so we can't change that, which is fine. And let's go ahead and just leave this open, just in case we can build another one. And then, of course, we do have our outputs, so that we need to figure out our output storage. So I think for now we could do a mix. So I definitely want to do an aggregate storage where we can, let's see, our aggregate over here. We definitely have lots of storage options. So we have even a train aggregate loading, which I think would be a good one to just like straight up export straight to it. And I think we could possibly, yeah, we could just dedicate one-on-ones here. So like this could be solely our train aggregate loading. I think that'll work. And so we could definitely drop that right there, I think. No, what we want to do is we want to have our process over a road. Sweet, so that'll work. And then we can get our train aggregate load. That's unloading. We definitely want a loading station, not an unloading station. It doesn't even have to be big. Like, I feel like this is all we need for now. And again, let me know, but I feel like this is all we really need. And then we can totally build around. I would love to see a train go through this really tight section, but we're okay. Yeah, because that doesn't even need a road or anything of that nature. That's cool. All right, let me build this up just real quick, and then we'll get into transportation and things of the like. All right, we've got our basic layout here. We'll eventually do something with this aggregate storage, and I probably should have done that we can do it while it's building. So we're just gonna do a basic, just a big giant aggregate storage here. Let's see, that's 1,800, almost 2,000. That's closer to 2,000. That is 2,000. That's 4,800. Oh, sweet mercy. Okay, we don't need something that big for now. I think we kind of manage our resources. We just do a little basic large aggregate storage. And we do need them to come this way. I think that'll work. Should be able to drag and drop there. No, do we need to build another daggum one-to-one? Huh, interesting. So it doesn't even want to build the aggregate at all. I wonder if it is just too close. Let's do a little bit of revamping. There we go. Is that janky? Yes. Do I care? I don't. So we're going to connect that. We'll go right there. This is a little bit wonky. Let's go ahead and redo this thing. There we go. I am satiated with this design completely and totally. Perfect. Okay, cool. So now that that's there, what we need to do is we are going to just wrap up this episode by simply providing some employment, because that's, you know, slightly important. We do enjoy having populations that have work. And again, this doesn't have to be fancy at all. We just want to make sure that whenever we build our stations and things of that nature, that people actually have a way to get to work. because that's a little important, I would say. And then we, you know, if we want to make them, if we want to allow them to switch between, we could totally do that. What's up with this? Oh, there's just a thing in the way. No worries there. Things in the way are a pretty common occurrence. And I imagine I could probably build a road there. But basically, next, what we need to do is we don't have to build a station here, but I think we definitely and totally should, because we want to provide access as quickly as possible in the shortest way as possible. And I think what makes the most sense here is to almost build a loop, I wonder. I wonder if we shouldn't have done that. We're always evolving here in Chandine, because we realize that life isn't as simple as it seems. So can I build an extension there? I can't. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. Oh no, I need a really good road. Okay, we're gonna build it right there, and I would imagine that this would build a solid. There we go. Oh, there we go, brilliant. And then that's where we can direct everyone to come into these spots and work those. We need to be able to connect this back in, which is just grand. And I think that actually works really, really well. The only thing that sucks is I probably would have built the bus station right here. And they could still, I guess they could still go here. I think this is probably the best location. Right underneath the power lines is bloody perfect. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a handful of bus stations here. Now, not here as in like literally in this area. No, rather we are going to peel off. Oh, I really wanted that to happen. I saw something. I saw a flicker of green, which was going to accept. That's fine. So we got that there, and now we need bus stations in several places. In fact, I'm going to probably build 3 of them at least. So we're going to build our first bus station here. Should I build it like that? I don't know that I could connect things. Nope, we're going to do just like that. First bus station goes here. We are going to provide really good sidewalk access. Oh, is this a not connecting? We have several not connecting ones. So we are going to have to, I'll have to probably like go through and beautify this up, because we can do things like add trees and stuff. And so I definitely like a very pretty area. We're not just here just to exploit. Remember, we're here to help all the people do all the things. And so there's one bus station. We're going to drop in another bus station over here, probably. I think I could squeeze this in and make it work as nature and God intended it to. There we go. And then we got our footpaths. There we go. And then the last one is going to be over in here, where I think the most people would probably make for good employment opportunities. And go figure, I think what we're gonna have to do is yep. Ignore this. This is all part of a healthy economy. I'm building you jobs. There we go. So we gotta clean up all this. Oh no. There we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull access to your temple, but we're definitely going to drop in. Let's go right there. Why not? And that's going to give this population the best and most access that they can ever receive from the glorious Soviet Empire to be able to go over there. Now, what we could do, what we do need to be mindful of is, well, let's see how many. Oh yeah, we have more than enough people. So what we need to do for our last step is we need to build, not a bus platform, we need to build a road services depot. And I think we are just going to slap this like in a really easily accessible area. Let's go ahead and just pump it over here, right? Or should we? No, we'll put it in over here. Ah, no, we'll do it over here. I'm very indecisive this morning. Let's go ahead and just, we can make that fit, and then I think we could totally, what's stopping me from doing this? Overlaps with existing construction. There we go. Cool. And so that depot is going to allow us to purchase the vehicles that we need in order to make this work. And now what we need to do, we don't need students or passengers or tourists for the time being. We literally just want workers waiting. Now, I'll forget that, and you'll need to remind me in the future. But then we have our, let's go and do 6. We have our buses. Let's go ahead and start. So to build a route, it's real simple. New route, you're going to do your starting location. Then you're going to do your ending location. And then you're going to hit start. And what's really cool is I can copy that schedule to another guy if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but not for the time being anyways. We will have people once that starts getting really, really crazy. There we go, start. And then I'm going to copy that to a new vehicle. They both should peel out. There we go, awesome. And then last but not least, we're going to go new stop there, and we're going to drop that off there, and we're going to launch that as well. And then we're going to copy that there. Now, why am I doing that? So that way when we're ready, if we see a huge number of people, and or when we want to alternate where they're going. So for instance, I could start this one, and now there's going to be kind of a constant pull towards that area. Boom. Okay. So now they are all going to go walk, and they're all going to go do the things. Boom. We're pumping out coal. We're pumping out ore. We are already filling things up. This train, oh, it's actually not what we wanted. I wanted to get, yeah, this has to go to a storage aggregate and then a train aggregate. But that's okay, because we'll be rocking and rolling. So that's going to end today's episode. We were able to incorporate the local population, and they are eagerly waiting for work. And then what we're going to do, we're going to build our power plant as part of a branch off of this aggregate, so that way we can supply our own power, and we're not buying our own power, and instead we could actually sell it. We could go right around and be like, haha, I can sell this crap. And then we're going to go from there. But ladies and gentlemen, we are rocking and rolling. I'm super excited to see where this goes. The tropical area is great. We are going to probably start seeing some issues in the next episode with all the rain and the issues that it causes therein. But if you enjoyed this, be sure to let me know by giving the video a thumbs up, by subscribing to the channel, and also by leaving your comments in the comment section down below. We are building our glorious Soviet empire, and I am so ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you're going to enjoy it too. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next episode.